The Great Hall of Nexus Station stretched across 3 kilometers of polished metal and crystal. Floating platforms held delegates from every corner of the galaxy. Some breathed water, others fed on pure energy. A few existed as clouds of thinking gas, but they all shared one thing in common today: fear. Council Prime Veltar stood at the center of the chamber. Her crystalline body caught the light from 1,000 worlds and threw it back in brilliant colors. She had led the Galactic Council for 150 years. In all that time, she had never seen such panic. "The Devourer fleet has consumed the Calarian system," announced Ambassador Kith through his translation device. His tentacles writhed with worry. 7 billion souls, gone in 3 days. Murmurs of terror swept through the chamber. The Devourers were machines, but not like any machines the galaxy had seen before. They ate entire planets, turning matter into more of themselves. No one knew where they came from. No one knew how to stop them. "The hegemony offers our full military support," declared Commander Zeflos. His scaled face showed no emotion, but his claws gripped his speaking podium tightly. "We have 2,000 ships ready to deploy." 2,000 ships did nothing for the Calarians, replied Dr. Nexhan, her blue skin pale with stress. "We need new weapons, new strategies, we need the humans," interrupted someone from the back. The chamber fell silent. Even the energy beings stopped their constant humming. Every eye, sensor, and perception organ turned toward one empty chair in the front row. The human chair. It had been empty for 237 years. Veltar's light dimmed. "The humans have ignored every invitation, every emergency session, every plea for help." "They have technology we have never seen," insisted Kith. "The old records speak of weapons that could crack moons, ships that moved faster than our sensors could track." "Old stories," snorted Zeflos. "If the humans were so powerful, why did they withdraw from galactic society? Why do they hide in their tiny corner of space?" Far from the council chamber, on a hidden station orbiting Neptune, Admiral Do-hyun watched the debate through quantum-encrypted feeds. His weathered face showed no expression as alien after alien voiced their desperation. Around him, dozens of operators monitored communications from across the galaxy. Do-hyun turned to the woman beside him. "They still think we disappeared because we were afraid." Security Chief Hyajin smiled without humor. "Let them think that. Fear keeps them from asking too many questions. The Neptune facility looked small from the outside, just another research station in Earth's outer system. Inside, it hummed with activity that would have amazed the Galactic Council. Quantum computers processed data from 10,000 monitoring stations. Automated factories built weapons that existed in no alien database. Deep in the facility's core, artificial intelligences ran millions of battle simulations every second. Back on Nexus Station, the debate continued. Species after species reported new Devourer attacks. The machine fleet seemed to be growing larger with each world they consumed. Panic was turning into hopelessness. "Perhaps we should consider evacuation protocols," suggested Ambassador Yilnara. Her feathered crest drooped with defeat. "Move our populations to the galactic rim. Find somewhere to hide." "Hide where?" demanded Zeflos. "The Devourers spread in all directions. Give them enough time, and they will consume everything." Veltar raised one crystalline hand for silence. "We have debated this for hours. The situation grows worse with each passing moment. I propose we send a formal delegation to the Sol system. If the humans refuse to see us, at least we will have tried." "And if they destroy our ships?" asked Dr. Nexhan. "Human space has been closed to outsiders for over 2 centuries. No one knows what defenses they have built." On distant trading post Kappa 7, Ambassador Taemin received the quantum transmission from Earth Defense Command. He had served as humanity's only official representative in galactic space for 15 years. Most aliens barely remembered he existed. Taemin was a patient man. He had to be. His job was to watch, listen, and report back to Earth. Nothing more. The standing orders were clear. No commitments, no alliances, no promises. Earth would handle its own problems. But as he watched the panic spreading through alien space, Taemin wondered if those orders were about to change. The Devourer crisis was unlike anything the galaxy had faced before. Even Earth's vast preparations might not be enough to handle this threat alone. His communication device chimed softly, a priority message from Admiral Do-hyun himself. Taemin read it twice, then a third time. After 2 centuries of silence, Earth was finally ready to act. Back in the council chamber, the vote was close but decisive. A delegation would be sent to Sol System within 48 hours. Commander Zeflos would lead it personally, along with representatives from 12 major species. "What makes you think the humans will even listen?" asked Ambassador Kith. Zeflos straightened his uniform. "Because they are still part of this galaxy. The Devourers will reach Sol eventually. The humans must know this." What Zeflos did not know was that the Devourers would never reach Sol. Not because Earth was hidden or protected, but because Earth had been preparing for this exact scenario for over 200 years. In the depths of the Neptune facility, Captain Subin monitored Deep Watch Station Alpha 7. Her station was one of thousands scattered throughout the galaxy, each no larger than a cargo container but packed with sensors that could track a single ship across 50 light years. "Admiral," she reported through the quantum link, "alien fleet, approaching the heliopause. 12 ships, mixed species. Commander Zeflos is aboard the flagship." Do-hyun nodded. "Activate the beacon network. Let them know they are not welcome in human space." "Sir," interrupted Hyejin, "should we consider their request? The Devourer threat is real." Do-hyun was quiet for a long moment. Through the facility's viewports, he could see Earth in the distance, a blue-green jewel that held 8 billion human souls. For 2 centuries, those souls had been protected by distance and secrecy. Now that protection was about to end. "The galaxy ignored us when we wanted to work together," he said finally. "They called our ideas primitive, our methods brutal. They preferred endless debate to action. And now they come crawling back when they need our help," added Hyejin. "Perhaps," Do-hyun agreed, "but the Devourers do not care about galactic politics. They will consume human worlds just as easily as alien ones." He turned to his communications officer. "Send a message to all stations. Phase 1 is now active. It is time to show the galaxy what we have been building." As the alien delegation approached the edge of human space, they had no idea they were flying into the heart of the most sophisticated defense network ever created. They thought they were visiting a minor species that had withdrawn from galactic society out of fear or weakness. They were about to learn how wrong they were. Captain Subin floated in the command chair of Deep Watch Station Alpha 7. The station was smaller than most alien shuttles, but it held more computing power than entire planetary networks. Through her neural link, she could see everything, within 50 light years as clearly as looking through a window. "Movement in the Keth sector," reported her AI companion. 3 Devourer scouts, heading toward the mining colonies. Subin tagged the contacts and forwarded the data to Earth Defense Command. Within seconds, the information would reach Admiral Do-hyun and be added to the vast database that tracked every ship, every planet, every grain of space dust in the galaxy. The aliens thought the humans had disappeared. They were wrong. Humanity was everywhere. On Earth, Dr. Jae-won studied holographic displays showing Devourer technology. His team had been analyzing the machine species for 40 years, ever since the first reports reached human intelligence networks. While the Galactic Council debated and argued, human scientists had been working. "Their adaptive algorithms are impressive," he told his assistant, Engineer So-young. "But they follow predictable patterns. We can exploit that." So-young nodded as she adjusted another display. "The beacon network is ready for deployment. 1,000 units, each containing enough computing power to crack most alien encryption systems." The beacons were Dr. Jae-won's idea, small devices that could appear anywhere in space within minutes. To alien sensors, they would look like simple warning buoys. In reality, each beacon was a miniature fortress, capable of defending itself, and communicating instantly with every human facility in the galaxy. Halfway across the galaxy, Commander Zeflos stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the stars through the view screen. His fleet of 12 ships represented the largest diplomatic mission ever sent to human space. Behind him, representatives from a dozen species waited nervously. "How much do we really know about the humans?" asked Ambassador Yilnara, her feathered crest twitching with anxiety. "Not enough," admitted Zeflos. "They appeared in galactic space 300 years ago. Advanced technology, but they seemed peaceful. They joined the council, participated in trade, shared some scientific knowledge. Then they just stopped, added Dr. Nexhan. One day they simply announced they were withdrawing from galactic affairs. No explanation, no warning. What none of them knew was that the humans had tried to warn them. 250 years ago, human scientists had predicted the Devourer threat. They had presented evidence to the Galactic Council, mathematical models showing how self-replicating machines could eventually consume all organic life in the galaxy. The Council had ignored them. Worse, they had laughed. Human paranoia, the Council records showed. These organic beings see threats everywhere. Their violent nature makes them imagine enemies that do not exist. So the humans had stopped sharing their warnings. Instead, they began preparing in secret. Captain Nari commanded the stealth ship Silent Thunder, one of hundreds of vessels that moved through alien space without being detected. Her ship had been following Zephlos's fleet for 3 days, staying invisible just a few kilometers away. They have no idea we are here, her sensor officer reported. Their detection systems are at least 50 years behind ours. Nari smiled. That was the point. While alien species had spent centuries perfecting their bureaucracy, humans had perfected their technology. Every alien innovation was studied, improved, and surpassed within years of its discovery. The Silent Thunder was proof of that superiority. It could pass through the densest alien patrol networks without triggering a single alarm. Its weapons could destroy a battleship before the target knew it was under attack. And there were 500 more just like it scattered throughout the galaxy. On the hidden facility orbiting Neptune, Admiral Do-hyun reviewed reports from across human space. The news was not good. Devourer fleets were spreading faster than predicted. Already 17 alien species had been completely consumed. The machines were learning, adapting, becoming more efficient with each victory. Sir, Security Chief Hyejin entered his office carrying a datapad. The alien delegation will reach our border in 6 hours. What are your orders? Do-hyun looked at the tactical display showing human assets throughout the galaxy, 10,000 monitoring stations, 50,000 automated defense platforms, manufacturing facilities on asteroids that could produce entire fleets within weeks, supply depots hidden in empty star systems, ready to support human operations anywhere in the galaxy. Activate the beacon network, he decided. Show them we have been watching. All of it? Hyejin asked. That will reveal the scope of our operations. They need to understand what they are dealing with, Do-hyun replied. The time for hiding is over. The order went out through quantum channels that moved faster than light. Across the galaxy, hidden systems came online. Monitoring stations that had remained silent for decades began broadcasting. Automated factories activated their production lines. Defense platforms emerged from asteroid fields where they had waited for centuries. Engineer So Young watched from her control station as the beacon network deployed. 1,000 warning devices materialized around Zephlos's fleet in perfect formation. Each beacon was exactly 1 kilometer apart, creating a sphere of light around the alien ships. Deployment complete, she reported. All beacons are online and transmitting. The message was simple, broadcast in every known galactic language. You are entering human-protected space. State your intentions or be removed. On his flagship, Zephlos stared at the tactical display in shock. Seconds ago, his sensors had shown empty space. Now they detected 1,000 objects surrounding his fleet, each one broadcasting on frequencies that should have been impossible to access. Where did they come from? Demanded Dr. Nexhan. Unknown, his sensor officer replied, his voice shaking. They appeared simultaneously across a volume of space that should take hours to cross, even at maximum speed. Ambassador Yilnara's crest flattened against her skull. If they can deploy 1,000 objects instantly, how many more do they have hidden throughout the galaxy? It was a good question. The answer would have terrified them. From her position on the Silent Thunder, Captain Nari opened a communication, channeled to Zephlos's flagship. She had been authorized to make first contact on behalf of humanity. Commander Zephlos, her voice filled the alien bridge. I am Captain Nari of the Earth Defense Forces. You have requested permission to enter human space. State your business. Zephlos struggled to find his voice. Captain, we come seeking aid. The galaxy faces destruction from the Devourer threat. We believe humanity may possess knowledge or weapons that could help us. The galaxy had 200 years to ask for our help. Nari replied. "Instead, you called us paranoid. You dismissed our warnings. You told us our concerns were not worthy of consideration." "We were wrong," Zeflos admitted. "The Devourers are exactly what your scientists predicted. We need your help now, or every living being in the galaxy will be consumed." There was a long pause. Then Nari spoke again, her voice carrying a weight that made every alien on the bridge feel small. "Commander, you are surrounded by 1,000 warning beacons. Each beacon contains more computing power than your flagship. Each one is armed with weapons that could crack your hull in seconds. They appeared instantly because they were already in position, waiting." She paused to let that sink in. "We have been watching the galaxy for 2 centuries. We know about every fleet movement, every political decision, every technological breakthrough. We know about the Devourer threat better than you do because we have been studying it since before your first world fell." Zeflos felt his scales tighten with fear. "What do you want from us?" "Nothing," Nari replied. "The question is what you are willing to give up to earn our help." Commander Zeflos stared at the 1,000 points of light surrounding his fleet. Each beacon pulsed with a soft blue glow, like stars that had been captured and placed in perfect formation. His sensor officer worked frantically at his station, trying to understand what they were facing. "Sir, the energy readings are impossible," the officer reported. "Each beacon contains power sources more advanced than our main reactors, and the quantum signatures. They are all connected somehow, moving information faster than light." Captain Nari's voice came through the communication system again. "Commander, you have 30 seconds to respond. State your intentions clearly." Zeflos looked around his bridge at the representatives from 12 species. Each face showed the same expression, terror mixed with awe. They had come to ask for help from a species they thought had hidden away in fear. Instead, they had found something far more dangerous than the Devourers. "Captain Nari," Zeflos began, his voice steady despite his fear. "I am Commander Zeflos of the Hegemony Fleet. With me are ambassadors from the major species of the Galactic Council. We come to request Earth's aid against the Devourer threat that is consuming our worlds." There was silence for several moments. Then Nari spoke again. "The same council that called our warnings paranoid fantasy. The same species that told us our defensive preparations were unnecessary. The same beings who said we were too violent to understand true civilization." "Ambassador." Yilnara stepped forward. "Captain, we were wrong. We admit our mistakes. But millions are dying every day. Whatever happened in the past, surely you cannot ignore such suffering." "We have not ignored it," Nari replied. "We have been preparing for it while you debated in your council chambers." On Earth Defense Command, Admiral Do Hyun watched the conversation through quantum links. Around him, dozens of operators monitored the situation. The moment had finally come. After 2 centuries of careful preparation, humanity would reveal its true capabilities to the galaxy. "Sir," Security Chief Hyajin approached his command chair. "Are we really going to help them? After they rejected everything we offered?" Do Hyun studied the tactical displays showing Devourer movements throughout the galaxy. "The Devourers do not care about politics, Hyajin. They will consume human worlds just as easily as alien ones. We help them because we help ourselves, and because it is the right thing to do," added Dr. J. Wan, who had just entered the command center. "We are not like them. We do not abandon others to die simply because they were foolish." Commander Min Ho, Earth's communications director, stood at his station coordinating with human assets across the galaxy. "Admiral, we have confirmation from all sectors. Our monitoring network is fully active. We are tracking every Devourer fleet in real time." Do Hyun nodded. "Patch me through to Captain Nari. It is time to show them what we have built." Back in Ion space, Zeflos waited as the human captain considered their request. Around his fleet, the 1,000 beacons continued their silent vigil. Each one was a reminder of humanity's hidden power and their own ignorance. "Commander," Nari's voice returned, "I am going to show you something. Look at your long-range sensors." Zeflos's sensor officer worked at his controls. Slowly, the tactical display began to show contacts throughout local space. Dozens at first, then hundreds, then thousands. Each contact was a human installation that had been invisible moments before. "By the void," whispered Dr. Nexhan. "How many installations do you have?" "Enough," Nari replied simply. "What you are seeing is just one small section of our network. We have been building it for 200 years while you played politics. The display continued to expand. Defense platforms emerged from empty space. Hidden bases activated their transponders. Supply depots revealed themselves in asteroid fields. The scope was beyond anything the aliens had imagined. Each installation is fully automated and self-sufficient, Nari explained. Each one can operate independently for decades. Together, they form a network that spans the entire galaxy. Ambassador, Yilnara's feathers drooped with shock. You have been watching us this entire time. We have been protecting you this entire time, Nari corrected. Do you think the Devourers just appeared randomly in your space? They have been probing galactic defenses for 50 years. We have been quietly eliminating their scout fleets before they could report back. The silence on the bridge was complete. Every alien representative struggled to understand what they were hearing. You knew about the Devourers for 50 years? Zephylos asked. We knew about the possibility for 250 years, Nari replied. We tried to warn your council. You dismissed our concerns as primitive paranoia. Dr. Jawan's voice joined the conversation from Earth. Commander Zephylos, this is Dr. Jawan of Earth Defense Research. We have been studying Devourer technology since their first appearance. We know their weaknesses, their behavioral patterns, and their ultimate objectives. Then why did you not act sooner? Demanded Dr. Nexhan. Because you needed to learn. Admiral Do-hyun's voice filled the channel. This is Admiral Do-hyun, Supreme Commander of Earth Defense Forces. Your species has spent centuries believing that endless debate and bureaucratic process could solve any problem. You needed to face a threat that did not care about your politics. Zephylos felt his scales tighten. You let billions die to teach us a lesson? We let billions die because we were not yet ready to act, Do-hyun corrected. The Devourer threat is beyond anything your species has faced. It required preparations that took centuries to complete. We had to be certain of victory before we revealed ourselves. Captain Nari's ship, the Silent Thunder, suddenly became visible just kilometers from Zephylos's flagship. It was sleek and predatory, covered in armor that seemed to bend light around it. Weapon ports along its hull could have reduced the entire alien fleet to debris in seconds. This is our response to your request for aid, Nari announced. We will help you fight the Devourers. But the galaxy must change. No more endless debates while worlds burn. No more refusing to prepare for obvious threats. No more dismissing the concerns of others because they do not fit your worldview. What are you asking of us? Zephylos inquired. Surrender, Do-hyun replied bluntly. Surrender your failed political systems. Surrender your inefficient military structures. Surrender your stubborn refusal to face reality. In return, we will save your species from extinction. The weight of the offer settled over the alien bridge. They had come seeking help from a minor species. Instead, they had discovered the galaxy's true rulers, beings who had been quietly protecting everyone while remaining hidden in the shadows. Ambassador Yilnara spoke first. If we refuse, then you are free to continue handling the Devourer, threat on your own, Nari replied. We will protect human space and human interests. The rest of the galaxy can decide its own fate. Zephylos looked at his fellow ambassadors. Each face showed the same understanding. They had no choice. Without human help, every species in the galaxy would be consumed within years. Admiral Do-hyun, Zephylos said formally, on behalf of the species present, I accept your terms. What do you need from us? Complete access to your military networks, Do-hyun replied. Real-time intelligence sharing. And most importantly, the authority to coordinate all defensive efforts without interference from your political systems. You want us to give you control of our fleets? We want you to give us the tools to save your fleets, Do-hyun corrected. The choice is yours, Commander. Trust us with your military forces, or watch them be consumed by machines that care nothing for your sovereignty. As the 1,000 beacons continued their silent watch, the future of galactic civilization hung in the balance. The aliens had finally learned what the humans had known for centuries. Sometimes survival required giving up the illusion of control. The massive shape that appeared above Nexus Station made every alien representative freeze in terror. One moment, the space around the Galactic Council's headquarters had been empty. The next, a human warship 5 kilometers long cast its shadow over the ancient meeting place. Colonel Yunji stood on the bridge of the Earth ship Vigilant Dawn, watching through the view screen as thousands of alien faces stared up at her vessel. The ship was a masterpiece of human engineering. Sleek lines covered in armor that could stop planet-killer weapons, bristling with technology that the Galactic Council had never imagined. "This is Colonel Yunji of the Earth Defense Forces." Her voice echoed through the council chamber below. "I bring greetings from Admiral Do-hyun and the people of Earth." Council Prime Veltar's crystalline form flickered with patterns of shock and fear. In 150 years of leading the council, she had never seen anything appear so suddenly in the heavily defended space around Nexus Station. "How did you get past our defenses?" she managed to ask. "What defenses?" Colonel Yunji replied, calmly. "Your sensor networks, shield generators, and weapon platforms have been under our control for 30 years. We could have destroyed this station at any time." The silence in the council chamber was complete. Representatives from 342 species sat in stunned disbelief. Their most secure location, protected by the combined military might of dozens of civilizations, had been compromised for decades without their knowledge. Ambassador Taemin materialized on the central platform through a human teleporter beam. After 15 years of quiet observation from distant trading posts, he was finally home. His crisp Earth defense uniform marked him as something the Council had never seen, an official human representative with real authority. "Members of the Galactic Council," Taemin began, his voice carrying clearly through the chamber. "For 2 centuries, Earth has watched this body debate while civilizations burned. We tried to warn you about threats you refused to acknowledge. We offered solutions you called primitive. You abandoned us," accused Ambassador Kith, his tentacles writhing with anger. "When we needed unity, you chose isolation. We chose preparation," Taemin corrected. "While you spent decades debating the proper procedure for emergency sessions, we built the infrastructure to handle actual emergencies." Chief Engineer Wu Jin's holographic image appeared beside Taemin. From his position, on Earth, he began displaying data that made every alien in the chamber gasp. 3-dimensional maps showed the true scope of human activities throughout the galaxy. 10,000 hidden facilities, Wu Jin announced, as the display zoomed through star system after star system, each one capable of supporting military operations. Across multiple sectors, 50,000 automated defense platforms positioned at strategic points throughout known space. Manufacturing centers that can produce entire fleets in weeks rather than years. The numbers were staggering. The Galactic Council's combined industrial capacity was less than 5% of what the humans had built in secret. "Impossible," whispered Dr. Nexhan. "The resource requirements alone would bankrupt entire star systems." "Only if you build inefficiently," Wu Jin replied. "Human automation technology has been 3 centuries ahead of galactic standards since we first arrived. We do not need massive crews or expensive life support systems. Our facilities run themselves." Admiral Do-hyun's image joined the presentation from Earth Defense Command. Even through the holographic projection, his presence filled the council. "Chamber with authority. Members of the council," he began, "Earth offers its full support in eliminating the Devourer threat. But our aid comes with conditions." Council Prime Veltar managed to recover some composure. "What conditions?" "Complete military integration under human command," Do-hyun stated bluntly. "No more committee decisions during battles. No more political considerations overriding tactical necessity. No more refusal to act because the proper paperwork has not been filed." "You want us to surrender our sovereignty," accused Commander Zeflos, who had just returned from his encounter with the 1,000 beacons. "I want you to surrender your incompetence," Do-hyun replied. "Your sovereignty has brought you to the edge of extinction. Our competence can pull you back." The holographic display changed to show real-time tracking of Devourer fleets throughout the galaxy. Red markers indicated machine forces, spreading like infection through civilized space. The scope of the threat became clear. Within months, the Devourers would reach the galaxy's core worlds. "We have been monitoring every Devourer movement for 40 years," explained Dr. Jae-won, joining the presentation from his research facility. "We know their behavioral patterns, their technological limitations, and their strategic objectives. We can defeat them, but only with complete operational freedom." "And if we refuse your terms?" asked Ambassador Yilnara. Colonel Eunji answered from her command bridge. "Then Earth will implement Protocol 7. We will establish a defensive, Perimeter around human space and allied systems. The rest of the galaxy will be left to handle the Devourer threat independently. Allied systems? Veltar inquired. Species and worlds that accept human protection and guidance, Tae-Min explained. We estimate approximately 40% of current galactic civilization would qualify. The remainder would be outside our defensive perimeter. The implications were clear. The humans were offering to save roughly half the galaxy while leaving the rest to be consumed by machines. It was a brutal calculation, but practical. "This is blackmail," declared Ambassador Kith. "This is triage," Admiral Do-hyun corrected. "We have finite resources and finite time. We can save everyone if you give us complete authority, or we can save some if you continue to obstruct our efforts with your political games." Chief Engineer Wu Jin added another display showing human defensive capabilities. Weapons systems that could shatter moons, shield generators that could protect entire star systems, ships that move through space like ghosts, invisible to any alien detection method. "The choice is simple," he announced. "Accept human leadership and live, or maintain your independence and die." Council Prime Veltar looked around the chamber at hundreds of terrified faces. Every species represented had lost worlds to the Devourers. Every delegate knew their civilization faced extinction within years. "What guarantees do we have?" she asked finally. "How do we know you will not simply conquer us once the Devourer threat is eliminated?" Admiral Do-hyun smiled grimly. "Veltar, if we wanted to conquer you, we would have done it 2 centuries ago. We could have taken control of every system in the galaxy without firing a shot. Instead, we chose to protect you from the shadows. Then why reveal yourselves now?" "Because the Devourer threat requires open action," Colonel Yoon-ji explained, from her ship. "We cannot defeat them while maintaining our secrecy. The galaxy must know that Earth stands ready to defend it." Ambassador Tae-Min stepped forward on the platform. "The Galactic Council has 1 hour to reach a decision. Accept human military leadership or face the Devourers alone. Choose quickly. Our sensors indicate the largest Devourer fleet yet assembled is moving toward the Nexus system. It will arrive in 6 days. The chamber erupted in panicked discussion. Representatives called for emergency sessions, subcommittee, meetings, and formal debate procedures. But the humans had made their position clear. No more delays, no more bureaucracy, no more time for political games. Outside the station, the vigilant dawn hung in space like a promise and a threat. Its weapons remained powered down, its shields inactive. The message was clear. Earth did not need to threaten anyone. Their superiority was so complete that threats were unnecessary. As the Council debated, human installations throughout the galaxy hummed with activity. Whether the aliens accepted their terms or not, Earth was preparing for war. The Devourers had consumed their last world. Humanity was finally ready to act. The Devourer fleet that emerged from hyperspace was the largest machine armada ever assembled. 3,000 vessels, each one a perfect killing machine designed to consume everything in its path. They moved in perfect formation toward the Nexus system, where the Galactic Council waited in terror. General Hae Rim watched the approaching threat from her command ship, the Earth vessel Eternal Guardian. Around her, displays showed the positions of 10,000 human assets throughout the galaxy. After 2 centuries of careful preparation, humanity was finally ready to show the galaxy what real military power looked like. "All stations report." "Ready," announced her tactical officer. "Human fleets are in position across 47 star systems. Automated defense platforms are online. Manufacturing centers are at maximum production." The Galactic Council had voted to accept human leadership just hours before the Devourer fleet arrived. The decision had been unanimous. Faced with extinction, even the most proud species chose survival over independence. "Dr. Yoon Seo, begin Phase 1, General Hae Rim ordered. From her position on a hidden research station, Dr. Yoon Seo activated the psychological warfare protocols that human scientists had developed specifically for the Devourers. The machines thought they understood organic behavior, but they had never faced an opponent that could think like them. "Broadcasting false fleet movements," Dr. Yoon Seo reported. "The Devourers are receiving data indicating massive alien forces gathering in the Outer Rim. They are diverting 60% of their fleet to investigate. It was a perfect deception. The Devourers operated on pure logic, always seeking the most efficient path to victory. When their sensors detected what appeared to be the largest military buildup in galactic history, they automatically moved to eliminate the threat. What they found instead were holographic projections and sensor ghosts created by human technology. By the time they realized the deception, it was too late. Phase 2 initiated, announced Captain Nari from the Silent Thunder. Her stealth ship had been tracking the main Devourer fleet for days, analyzing their formations and communication patterns. All human assets are moving to attack positions. Across the galaxy, the true scope of human military might become visible for the first time. Warships emerged from hidden bases in asteroid fields. Defense platforms activated in systems that aliens had thought were empty. Supply lines that had been invisible for centuries suddenly blazed with activity. Ambassador Taemin stood on the bridge of the Vigilant Dawn, watching as human forces moved with perfect coordination. Colonel Yunji, signal all alien fleets to maintain defensive positions. Do not engage until ordered. The alien military commanders had protested this strategy. They wanted to fight to prove their courage against the machines. But General Hayrim had been firm. This battle would demonstrate the difference between human efficiency and alien chaos. The first engagement began in the Keth system, where a Devourer scouting force encountered what appeared to be a small human patrol. 3 human ships against 30 machine vessels should have been a massacre. Instead, it became a demonstration of technological superiority. Target lock confirmed, reported the weapons officer aboard the human destroyer Steadfast. Engaging with quantum disruption torpedoes. The weapons that struck the Devourer ships were unlike anything seen before in galactic warfare. Instead of simply destroying their targets, the torpedoes infected the machine systems with viruses that turned their own technology against them. Within minutes, the entire Devourer force was consuming itself. From Earth Defense Command, Admiral Duhyun coordinated the battle across dozens of star systems. All sectors report successful engagement. Devourer forces are falling back toward their main fleet. The retreating machines were walking into a trap 2 centuries in the making. Every path they could take led toward human kill zones where automated defense networks waited in perfect ambush positions. Chief Engineer Wu Jin monitored the battle from his facility on Earth. Admiral, the main Devourer fleet is approaching the Nexus system. They have realized the Outer Rim attacks were diversions. Perfect, Admiral Do-hyun replied. Let them come. It is time to end this threat permanently. The space around Nexus Station became a battlefield unlike any in galactic history. The 1,000 Devourer ships that had not been diverted by the false signals arrived to find the system defended by the full might of human military technology. General Hayrim gave the order that would change galactic history forever. All units, commence Operation Final Answer. The battle lasted exactly 17 minutes. Human weapons that had been theoretical concepts when the Galactic Council first dismissed Earth's warnings now proved their devastating effectiveness. Devourer ships built to withstand planet killing. Impacts were torn apart by forces that manipulated the fundamental laws of physics. The machines tried to adapt, as they always did, but human technology had evolved beyond their ability to comprehend. Every countermeasure they developed was anticipated and defeated within seconds. Devourer main fleet eliminated, reported Captain Nari from the Silent Thunder. Remaining machine forces throughout the galaxy are requesting withdrawal protocols. It was over. The threat that had consumed 17 alien civilizations had been eliminated in less than an hour of actual combat. The galaxy was safe, but at a price the alien species were only beginning to understand. Director Kaite arrived at Nexus Station aboard a human transport, carrying the documents that would reshape galactic civilization. As Earth's new director of galactic integration, his job was to implement the changes that would prevent future crises. The Galactic Council is dissolved, he announced to the stunned alien representatives. In its place, we establish the Galactic Defense Authority, with Earth as the primary coordinator of all military and security operations. Council Prime Veltar's crystalline form dimmed with defeat. What about our governments, our independence? You keep your internal affairs, Director Kite explained. But all external threats, all military decisions, all defense preparations will be handled by human authority. No more committees, no more debates, no more delayed responses to obvious dangers. The new system was efficient and brutal in its simplicity. Human monitoring stations would watch every star system. Human fleets would respond to every threat. Human technology would protect every world that accepted the new order. Ambassador Tae Min took his place at the head of the new council chamber. After centuries of empty chairs and ignored warnings, Earth finally had the authority to protect the galaxy properly. "The age of debate is over," he announced. "The age of action has begun." But even as the aliens struggled to accept their new reality, human expansion was already beginning beyond their home galaxy. Deep space monitoring stations detected signals from distant star clusters, hints of other civilizations that might someday pose threats. General Hai Rim stood in her command center, studying star charts that showed galaxies millions of light years away. "Begin Phase 7, she ordered. "Extend monitoring operations to the Magellanic Clouds." The 1,000 beacons that had first revealed human power to the galaxy were just the beginning. Soon, human warning systems would span multiple galaxies, watching for threats that organic civilizations could not imagine. On Earth, Admiral Do-hyun looked up at the stars through his office window. Humanity had finally accepted its role as the galaxy's guardian. The responsibility was vast, but so was their capability. The galaxy was safe, and under human protection, it would remain safe forever.